You're listening Laugh Out Loud with Dave and JJ.
Yeah, come on. Put your hands up if you make them grands up. If you can't stand up, then I'ma pick you up. Hit the streets like a chopped up truck. What you want? People standing in the back need to bring it to the front. Go ahead with the surefire method. Machine gun lyrics, hitting you with the interference.
Well, it's been a few weeks since we've had a chance to sit down and talk. Daytona's been here and gone. Phoenix has been here and gone. And a little soda pop stain on the hood. Where do you want to start?
We could start with, I guess the letdown of Daytona. Obviously we didn't have the sportiest single car Toyota out at Daytona, but it looked like a majority of the Toyotas struggled in qualifying. We weren't any different than that. And as we started our Gatorade 150, the car seemed to be moving through pretty decent. Due to have an engine failure very early in the race, it ended up being a crankshaft that we broke. I think the original thought was that we broke a valve, and obviously it broke a valve because of the crankshaft being in two different pieces and the timing of the engine being off. So it wasn't it wasn't the start that we were looking for a new team for obviously Blakeney Racing or for our new sponsor America Israel Racing. So moved on to Phoenix, Arizona, my hometown track, and we had a pretty decent race car. Qualifying. To me, it was a horrible lap. The car felt bad, didn't do anything that it needed to, and yet, we still picked up some spots. Ended up 35th qualifying. Out-qualified a bunch of cars that, I guess struggled more than what we did. The race, the car actually handled very, very good. Had some really nice pit stops. We used some strategy, and the biggest issue we struggled with, I guess, was a little bit of maybe not so much horsepower, but just torque. It seemed like the car was handling so good I could make up 1 to 2 car lengths entering the corner or through the center of the corner on a majority of the cars that I was racing with, but we just got beat so bad from the center of the corner to about the middle of the straightaway. So, I know that some of that has something to do with the engine itself. A lot of it probably has to do with the new fuel injection. It's just another can of worms that, allows the larger teams that have, the people in place, or have had the time to work on dynos and, track testing that, they've just got that much of an advantage to where, their fuel mileage is better than what we've got. We've got to work on that, and we've got to work on the mapping of the EFI just to make the engines a little bit stronger from the center of the corner off.
It's, the car looked great. It was nice to see you get a lap back early. A little bit of TV time there. And, I watched the majority of the race from my couch, and it wasn't quite as sunny or as hot as it was in Phoenix, but, I can tell you that it was a joy to not see you go out after 5 or 6 laps. So, and actually race, look at the standings today, the owner's points, and, there you guys are, car number 49, tied with car number 48. So, that's, hopefully when as they move, we move too. That's the goal.
Sure. No, it definitely is. Obviously that's the goal. I know, the entry list has been released. There's going to be 45 cars at Las Vegas, basically the same group of guys that we had at Phoenix plus the 21 car.
Yep.
I'm very, very confident in, our chances for making the race, but to go out there and again, put a solid day together and come away with, again, something close to the top 25. That's got to be our goal, which I don't think it's an outlandish goal. Obviously I would like to run better. I know that we had a better car than guys that finished inside the top 20 in Phoenix. They just, they had a little bit better torque than what we did. I don't think the torque will be as much of an issue going to Las Vegas because it is 1.5 miles. You do carry a lot more momentum because of the new asphalt. I don't think the speeds fall off that much. So I don't think it's going to hurt us as bad going to Las Vegas. So, again, looking forward to, a couple days heading to Las Vegas, going to racetrack. I know we qualified pretty well there last year, with me and Tony Fur as a package. I know some pretty big things have been happening, since last week on the sponsor front, and there's been, with, the run we had last week, there's been a lot of movement. So hopefully, something good comes from Las Vegas. Some of these meetings that are going to happen this week, and obviously with money comes speed. They run hand in hand, which makes it tough. But with some larger sponsorship dollars, obviously we can go to the racetrack. We can make some improvements. We don't have to be as thrifty with the tires. The engine program is obviously going to change. We can hire some more people. And, it's funny, and Kristen was bringing this up this week, that on TV they continue to make a big deal about David Stremme and his 8 guys on his team and the fact that he doesn't make a salary and, how it's run so tight. And we only have 6 guys at our shop. I don't make a salary. We don't have air conditioning at our shop. They make such a big deal about some of these teams, and I wish that they would, and not trying to pick on the Inception team, but there's a lot of teams out there that are operating at the same level or even lower than what they're operating at, and it's not fair that that doesn't always get recognized. But I know that my guys work their tails off. They work 12, 14 hours a day. I mean, it took us 12 hours just to get home yesterday traveling from Phoenix. We left at 12:27 in the afternoon and landed in Charlotte at 11:40 and didn't leave the airport till 12:30 in the morning. So, those guys are back at the shop early this morning working on preparing the Bristol car, the California stuff, just trying to get everything ready to the best that they can.
Yeah. I mean, I guess, and they were probably focusing on, Inception for, the qualifying effort that was done in Daytona and carrying that over a little bit into Phoenix. But, I can't let my personal feelings, show on the driver at hand. So, but,
Sure.
It's good that there's a lot of great things happening. I mean, it was definitely a letdown. 4 laps into the qualifying and to break, a shaft and a half is not fun. But to turn around and get out to Phoenix, your home track, where you're from, and have your fans and family there to support you. I'm sure it was an absolute blast for the weekend. The car looked great.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It actually almost turned out to be an advantage, if you will, having an issue at Daytona and missing the race, because that extra time that the guys spent back at the shop, it allowed them to really prepare the Phoenix car and the Las Vegas car and get them ready. If we would have made the Daytona 500 and spent those additional 3 days at the racetrack for the crew, there was only one guy left back at the shop, and he was left back intentionally just for the fact that we didn't want to be too overloaded at Daytona, and there was so much work left to be done at the shop that we would have made Phoenix okay with the Phoenix car, but the Las Vegas car would have probably only been 60% ready, and we wouldn't have had a perfect or a really great effort going to Las Vegas. So, obviously it was a letdown missing the biggest race of the year, but at the end of the day, it may have been a better building tool for this team moving forward for, Daytona is almost its own race, and then you have the rest of the year. We're past Daytona. Now we get, it gave us a chance to work on the rest of the year.
Yeah, and I totally agree with that.
Thank you.
Okay, JJ, so here's a question that always comes up. You end up finishing 26th at Phoenix. Your team is awarded $69,000. The team in last place, 43rd, 17 points or positions behind you, they get $64,000. How does the math work?
It works very, very small increments. It's funny, there's so many different plans, and the payment or the purse can be quite confusing. And obviously, NASCAR rewards the teams that have been around longer than those that haven't. So, because we are a new team, we're not on the the winner plan or the winner circle plan, which changes the TV money and, all the different shared purses. So just based off the purse, it's a very tight payment, so it usually only changes between $200 and maybe $400 per position. And that's why you'll see a team start in park. That's why it doesn't financially make sense for them to go and run the entire race because, again, the first car out, which I believe was a 98 car, probably ran less than 20 laps. We ran the full 312 laps. We didn't have all the new tires that a lot of your big teams did. We had 5 sets of tires, glued up, ready to go. Two of those sets were 1-lap scuffs, like qualifiers, that we had made mock runs on. And we had 3 new sets of tires. Those 3 new sets are roughly $2,500 a piece. So just in those 3 sets, we spent $7,500 to make $5,000 more than the guy who only ran 20 laps. That's why that's why sponsorship is so important, because the purse will only get you so far, and basically the purse just kind of covers the expenses of what the team is going to make, and you use the sponsorship to fund the team to continue on a weekly basis and take care of if it's a driver's salary, the crew's salary, everything that comes along with travel and expenses. So it's tough, and that's what I meant earlier by speed costs money, how fast you want to go, because, unfortunately in this sport or anything else, nothing comes free, and the faster you want to go, the more you're going to have to spend. If it's tired engines, cars, people, that's the difference.
Now, your pit crew on Sunday was part of which organization?
It was part of the Hendrick organization. I know that last year they basically have their own development program. So, the guys we have now are young guys. That's all they do at Hendrick. They sit and they train all day long. They practice pit stops. That's their job. And I think Hendrick farms these crew guys out to different teams. Obviously there's got a relationship there. They're not going to send them to a Ford organization or a Toyota organization. But because we're independent and, there's probably some relationships there that have been utilized between Tony and some of the other guys at Hendrick. Great bunch of guys, young guys. We had fantastic pit stops all day long. For us, we don't need 12.5-second pit stops. We need high 13s, low 14s that are consistent, that I don't have to come back in 10 laps and have a loose tire. We're going to go out there, we're going to do our best, we're going to have our struggles. But it's so easy to have a great car and have to make a green flag pit stop. Now you're out of sequence. You've given up 2, maybe 3 laps. Usually you'll never get those back. You may get lucky with a caution where you can get a wave around, but again, you're always off sequence, and it's very difficult. So having a good, consistent pit crew is key. And we're going to have that. And, that's one less thing as a driver that I have to worry about. And that's one less thing that Tony has to worry about because, I know they had some issues last year with some of the races they ran, with the 46 team. And, they gave up a bunch of laps because of bad pit stops.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, it costs money, right? So.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay. So it's kind of interesting. I mean, it's the second week of NASCAR. Your fantasy pool is plugging away. We did get a few more handfuls of people for 2012. It's the year return of the Dragon. So, you're sitting above mid-pack right now.
I know it's 31st after race 1.
Yeah, and you moved up a spot this week.
Oh, well, there you go. As long as I'm not going backwards, I'm doing good. And I help my own cause.
Yes.
I did move backwards?
No, you moved up.
Oh, okay.
You moved ahead. Yeah. No.
Hey, if I'm 30th this week, by the end of the year, 1 spot per race, I should be winning the deal going into Homestead.
You're not too far behind me. 29 spots.
Oh, see, there you go. That's okay.
It's early.
Last time I checked, they don't pay anything for winning the second lap. It's the last lap.
That's right. At Homestead.
Right now, you're just out showboating. That's all you're doing. You're showboating.
Yeah. Well, that won't last. We know how that works. out first, and last, right? So
That's it.
So there's a lot of the American Israel team has been doing some tweeting, some emailing. There's some. They've thrown out the option for. I guess they've had some driver cards made up. So people can find that information on AmericanIsraelRacing.com. If they want to get a hat or a T-shirt, they can make a donation and they will ship it to their house. All the great things. Are you wearing a T-shirt?
No, I actually have a workout shirt on because I came from dinner just as I got back here to do the show. But it's very refreshing to have a sponsor that is so enthusiastic about being involved in this sport. Usually because, I haven't been in the sport for a really long time, but I've been in long enough to see sponsors come in and leave quickly or come in for the wrong reason. And so far it's been fantastic. Rich, Mark, Jessica, everyone at America Israel Racing has been so excited about just trying to really spread the word, make everyone aware of what's going on. And, obviously there's been a lot of things going on this week with Israel, America. Obviously last Saturday and Sunday they had the APAC convention. We had a show car there at the convention and had a lot of people come up. It was really cool. So, again, just super excited to have them on board. Like I said, there's some really big things happening. Hopefully, it's just going to take one lucky thing happen, and it's going to change the outcome and the outlook for this team moving forward for the rest of the year.
Very, very good news, and I don't know what else to say. It's been a long time we've been doing this show, and we've got some good things to talk about, and then we end up with something else. So, I can say I enjoyed watching the race, the whole race, and following the Robinson Blakely team on Twitter with all the updates that was happening on the track. Not being privileged to hear what was going on, but very cool, very cool, very cool. So it's awesome. I
didn't say much on the radio. It's I won't say it's new getting to run the whole race, but the car handled pretty well. There wasn't a lot of things that I was going to be able to convey to Tony that was going to change what we had going on with the race car and the racetrack. So I'll make sure that I guess I'm a little more vocal through the radio just so you can hear me talking if you're following me on NASCAR.com or one of the other sources that you have for listening during the race.
Yeah, just sing. Like the wheels on the bus go round and round.
I'll do that. Either that, or maybe I'll give a shout out to anyone who's listening during the race. But we'll, like I said, we'll have a lot of fun. Kristen is going to come to Las Vegas with me. The grandparents are coming in tomorrow to watch Faith. So we're going to have a little bit of fun in Las Vegas. Obviously, we got to keep the eye on the prize and stay focused on what's going on at the racetrack. But it'll be nice just to have a little time with me and Kristen too.
Yeah, it's always nice to have date weekends, right? So, and,
after 12 years, you don't get down very often.
At least 16, you don't have to tell me. Oh my God! So, how are things? How's Faith's little showmanship thing happening, and her modeling, her talent? Give us any update.
Nothing's happened yet. Actually, while we are gone this weekend on Saturday, she has I guess it's a meeting. She'll go in and have I think it's a 2-hour seminar where they'll work with Faith and some of the other girls about how to, the proper way to walk, talk in a microphone, one-on-one meetings, just things that, actually help once you get to the real world. And I think it's pretty cool that they, work with young children so they can start so young and be comfortable in front of a group, in front of a crowd. I can't remember what the statistic was, but the number one fear amongst, men and women is public speaking. And, obviously if you can conquer that at a young age, talking to people in groups or whatever have you, it just gives you that much larger advantage in life. So she's excited about it. She's got her gown coming. We've had some sponsors, some great people kicked in to help, and it's going to be fun. I'm just disappointed that, racing, it provides so much for my family, but at the same time, I miss so much because of it. And, miss this. I know her pageant, I believe, is when we were in Kentucky. So she's going to get to do all these cool things, and I won't be there to walk her out during her little evening gown walk. I missed father-daughter dance for the second year in a row this past weekend. So, it's great that I get to do a lot of cool things, but at the same time, I miss some things that I know I'll never get back, and sometimes that makes me feel a bit sad.
Well, if you ever want to take a weekend off, I can send my seat down and take over. What's the worst that can happen?
I know you've slimmed up quite a bit, so I know that squeezing you through the side window won't be nearly as hard as it used to be.
Yeah, you don't have to take the roof off anymore. I'll go right through. A little bit of oil on the sides and just...
You and Karen, you both are looking great, so...
There we go. Well, it's... now that my pneumonia is gone, God, thank God. That's all I gotta say.
Well, it helps to exercise when you can breathe, right?
Yeah. It's, that it does, so. But, just one more thing I want to mention. Fill me in on the pop on the hood.
Yeah, it was, today, the whole day's been crazy. I guess it started today because I got home at 12:30 this morning, but yeah, I'm parked at we flew commercial, parked in the parking garage, and as I was coming home last night, there was something on the windshield, and turned the windshield wiper fluid on, and would come off, so, I just thought maybe something sticky dripped from I was on the first floor, something came from the second floor. Got up this morning and was taking Faith to school and noticed that there was soda pop all over my hood. I thought, wow, someone maybe dropped a can and exploded. Well, you can see where someone just stood there and basically poured a soda pop across the center part of my hood until it, was everywhere. So, obviously disappointed with that. And there wasn't anyone near me when I parked, so anyone that came after I was already parked. And, just silly people. I don't know what the whole prowess behind it was. And then, me and Kristen went to lunch earlier, and I tweeted it. That went to lunch, and I was parked a little bit to the left of the center, just because, it's mall parking, and the people to the right of us were parked on the line too. And when we came out to get in the car to go pick Faith up, a car pulled in, and there was literally 6 inches between their car and Kristen's car. I had to climb through the passenger seat to get to the driver's side to get out. And just as we were backing out, Kristen was actually going to write. Yeah, Kristen was going to write a nasty note, and then the woman who parked so badly showed up. So I asked her, why she'd try to box me in. She thought that I pulled in after she did, which there's no way I even would have pulled into a spot like that, or I could have gotten out of the car for that matter. So she goes, "Oh, I'm sorry." I thought she'd say, "I'm sorry, I'm stupid," but she didn't go that far. But that's okay. No scratches, so no harm, no foul. The worst thing I had to do was crawl from the passenger seat to the driver's seat to go pick up Faith. Was not that big a deal.
Well, could be worse. That's the thing about Twitter. You can't read into it.
It could have been a whole lot worse.
You got 71 spots to type in your story, and that's it.
Yeah, then you include a picture, so then you lose like 20 when you have to include a picture, so it makes it that much more difficult.
Exactly. When do you leave for Vegas?
We leave Thursday, 7 a.m.
Are we flying out of Charlotte, or?
Yeah, we're flying out of Charlotte, and I think we go to Houston. We have like a 2.5-hour layover. Then we get to Las Vegas early. So the flight coordinator for the team has already been directed by Mr. Furr to contact him before she makes the flights, because he's not a morning guy. And we left at 5:45 in the morning to go to Phoenix. We're leaving at 7 a.m. to go to Las Vegas, and because we don't have anything going on Thursday, so I think we get out like at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So it's
that's nice, though.
yeah, we'll have all sorts of time. I know Kristen's not really looking forward to a 7 a.m. flight either, so I don't know that anyone ever does, but.
Well, you get to land early. It's great when you go in the Caribbean.
It's awesome. Well, I love flying commercial because, then you get to, you get to deal with the rookies, the veterans, and the people that are really, really rude. It's hard to find people at the airport that are really, really nice. I don't think they even exist. There's a few of them. I try to be one of them, but, sometimes you'd think someone just as soon step on you and kick you versus helping you up. So, you go through the security, and, people just aren't as friendly as they used to be. Even security, they don't tell you good morning, have a great day. They kind of look at you, grumble, and give you back your license and tell you to have fun going through the security cam. So,
the funny thing, it was on the news yesterday, or maybe it might have been this morning, that the security is so focused on water balls coming into beyond the security zone. You got to drink everything before you get past it, and then you got to go buy another one for $6. So this woman, they were so concentrated on her water bottle that she went through the x-ray or whatever, and everything was good. They didn't see anything until after they went back to review it. She had a 4-inch dagger in her purse. They were only concerned about the water bottle.
Yeah.
So they
That's impressive.
prevented the water bottle from coming in, but it's okay. We're letting them go with a knife.
Yeah, it's very, very awesome. It's amazing. I'm sure. They've got a tough job, and they're trying to hustle people through, but sometimes the focus can be off just a little bit.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, listen, have a safe flight. Have a great weekend. Looking forward to seeing you guys on the track, and hopefully some more points.
Absolutely. The goal is to be locked in after 5, where when we go racing, we can concentrate on race setups, not qualifying setups.
You took a big step this weekend, so you jumped over some teams with 18 points. That's in 2 races they haven't accumulated that much yet. So you're doing well. Keep it going, bud.
That's our plan.